What's going on, everyone? IVG here for my CPA Week 1 post commentary against my match for against Kingkrabby, and this is a real tough match, a real neat close match because I would say close. I would say important match because this is a match against one of my good friends and a match that probably will decide how really well we do battle aside out of the WPCL because that's where I knew Krabby since season 1, and that we've been rivals ever since then. And this week is actually going to be tough since it's just week 1, but this is the side of where I'm probably just going to be at for the rest of the season. But anyways, if you do need to, go check out my Teambuilder because it explains how I would decide on his picks, on what he would expect to be, and it explains a little bit on how I built my team in preparation for this match. Now, looking at his team, just a little team preview, I expected the Victini, the Clefable, the Mega Absol, the Raikou, the Delmise, and the Primer to come. His full team I explained in Teambuilders, so like I said, go check that out. And by the looks of his team, I only got 3 Pokemon correct out of said teams, meaning that he brought the Clefable, he brought the Raikou, and he brought the Primate. He did not bring Victini, which I was super surprised against because Victini is super versatile and real good in Draft League format. Mega Absol being his Mega, I would have definitely expected him being because most of the time you'd probably have the Mega being built around. Of course, I didn't do that, but that's whatever. You'd probably be in the Mega most of the time, and also expected the Delmise, probably just as a rapid spinner, but he does also have Donphan and Tentacruel, which you do see on his side. Also gives him a rapid spinner. And he also brings the Crustle, which was something I did expect him to bring, but I didn't put it down because I was I really don't think so. But I know that Crustle was really good whenever he had used it in a league before, so I probably wanted to prep against it for myself. So this is going to be my battle. I'm going to go real slow, so I'm going to put on slow, not really slow, but I'm going to put on slow so that it gives me enough time to discuss about what plays I made and how I proceeded with each turn. So let's start. Turn 1 I lead with Aerodactyl because it was my initial plan to lead out with on whatever he decides to bring. And he ends up leading with Donphan, who I did not expect him to bring out. I probably expected him to be leading with Clefable or Crustle to either set up either way, either being Stealth Rocks or setting up a Shell Smash with Crustle, but he ends up being a Donphan. And right here, I could have gone for the taunt, but I ended up switching out into Rotom since it was my initial switch in for Donphan, and he ends up setting Stealth Rocks. So that gives you the reason why I should have stayed in and taunted, but I didn't want that Focus Dash to get knocked out real early on. But I just ended up defogging while he makes the swatch from Clefable. And in the next time, I decided to bring Aerodactyl because I really wanted my Stealth Box up for this match, so I ended up being Aerodactyl. He ends up toxing me, which is a move I did not expect him to bring on a Clefable. So in this next turn, I just end up getting Stealth Rocks, and he starts setting Calm Mind. Now this would be very scary, but thankfully I do carry the taunt, just in case if he decides to bring up a set of Pokemon, so it's able to negate the next Wish which he just did go for, or the next Calm Mind he goes for. I just go for Stone Edge to get a little bit of chip damage, and he hits me with the Moonblast, bringing it down to HP that Toxic is able to knock me out. So right at the back, I'm looking at a bad end since I already lost a Pokemon, but it's a Pokemon that I really not intended to keep around, so it's not really bad at this point. I end up being Incineroar just to have at least something to take against the +1 Clefable, and to at least carry it out. I end up going for the knockoff while he brings in the Donphan, which, actually no, I go for the Flare Blitz this turn just to get some damage off on whatever, because even with Donphan it does over a third of itself, plus the Stealth Rock damage, even after leftovers. So right here I expect him to go for the Rapid Spin, so I decided to bring Golisopod in, just so I get that heavy banded liquidation off on any sort of Pokemon. He ends up sacking off his Donphan. I'm probably thinking that he would have outsped, but I carried enough speed investments to where I'd be able to outspeed a Donphan if it just had the IVs, max IVs and speed, and not any sort of speed and EVs. So next turn, he brings the Crystal. I knew he was going to set up a Shell Smash right here, so I decided to get some damage off on this thing. So I hit this thing with Liquidation while he set up a Shell Smash, and it brings it down to 30. So I was like, okay, I need to either bring somebody that could take this, or at least to sack it up. So I decided to bring Rotom Wash in, and he hits the Stone Edge, and not only does he hit it, he crits. And it was like a roll in his favor, so I really wasn't that mad about him knocking out my Rotom Wash. It's a crit, so it's something you already gotta complain about. So this next turn, I just begin Gliscod, click Aqua Jet so it's able to knock it out. And I'd be done with seeing the Crystal on the screen. Next, he brings in the Clefable, so in this next turn, I decided to bring in the Incineroar back out, just so it could deal with Clefable's Moonblast. He ends up sending a Wish, so right here, I'm going to go for a knockoff, regardless if he stays in, just to get the leftovers off of Clefable, but ends up switching to Tentacruel, so I knock off its Black Sludge, what helps it so much with like recovery, even after the Wish. And he ends up showing something I probably didn't expect him to bring. He ends up sending out the Rain, so he has a Rain Disc set, and he intends to sweep with this thing. So right here, this Earthquake getting a big amount of damage off, and even from like a max HP Skull, which of course I knew this wasn't like any like offensive item since he just showed Black Sludge. Even a Skull doesn't even do half of what my current health is, but he ends up showing the Hydro Pump. He does land in the rain, but is nowhere close to knocking me out, so I'm able to finish off the Tentacruel with the Earthquake and still have my Incineroar and an okay amount of HP. He ends up bringing Raikou in, so I was like, okay, I might as well just leave the Incineroar in just to sack off. He ends up going for Volt Switch, and it does not end up killing me, which I was real surprised about. So I just go for the knockoff, but this turn really surprised me because whenever I knocked off, there was no item falling off. So this gave me the idea that he was 5DMZ Primeape, since that's the Z Crystal he drafted. And so we just ended up going for the Earthquake. I didn't want to like save my Incineroar because it had a low HP. Even if I just wanted some damage off, it really wouldn't be the Pokemon that I would save for later on in the match. So I decided to sack it off. And so the Primeape gets the kill off on that. Next turn, I just bring in Sylveon since it handles around pretty well against Primeape. Even just like a gunshot does around 40%. So I just went for that. And I just started spamming Hyper Voice. And I ended up getting a crit, which actually helped me a whole lot against the Clefable. To where this next turn, when I click Hyper Voice, the Clefable will end up getting knocked out. And he ends up sending a Wish right here, so it's really good for his next Pokemon since he knew he was going to be taken down. He ends up bringing Raikou in on this thing. So I just click Hyper Voice since I just wanted some damage off in this thing. He clicks Thunder, not only lands it in normal, in no weather, which would definitely help if it wasn't rain. He clicks Thunder, I get off the Hyper Voice, doing a little close to half. This next turn, after I get my leftovers recovery, he ends up going for another Thunder, lands it, and managed to get a high roll from the Thunder. So I was doing a little debating. I was thinking, okay, what item could he possibly be? And I was thinking, okay, was sort of thinking like this thing had like Weather Ball, since it was just like it had a range setting Tentacruel. This thing could probably have Weather Ball, but I didn't know what item he was. So I took a wild guess and thinking like, okay, he's most likely Specs because he wanted to do so much damage with that rain. And he wouldn't have like any sort of like other item. Because he didn't show this doesn't mean he shows Life Orb because he would have taken damage from it. But what this did show was that he would not be able to kill me with any other move. With just one move. So this gave me an opportunity to set up agility. While he switches out into Primeape, this gave me the agility off. And I was able to clean up the rest of his team, meaning I get the kill off of Primeape, which I just ended up wasting my ground Z Crystal because I would have killed either one of them either way. With Earthquake, so I decided to waste right here. I just get Earthquake off the Raikou, and that is the end of the match. So I do end up winning 2-0 for this match, putting me at a real good spot. I believe if I just won this match, this does put me at a good advantage in the start of the season. Just so you know, this is 11 week regular season, and the top 6 do make it to playoffs. So if I'm really just doing stuff like this, then I probably should be fine enough to where I'd probably make it to playoffs, and then start prepping a whole lot more for those real tough battles in the league. But anyways, guys, I hope you do enjoy. Check out my friend Kingkrabby in the description below. His channel will be linked there. He doesn't upload, but y'all guys could probably help him get to upload. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy, and we'll see y'all in week 2 where I'll be posting, keeping y'all updated. Anyways, thank y'all for watching, and see ya.